Welcome back, history enthusiasts! Today we're strapping on our sandals, tightening our togas, and diving headfirst into the wide world of ancient masculinity. I mean, just listen to my voice. Can't you just hear my manly authority? No? Well, all right then. Pressing on. If you think today's standards of being a man are tough, well, you haven't seen anything yet. From headhunting kilts to hitting a bullseye while galloping at full speed, ancient men had to go to some seriously extreme lengths just to be considered, well, manly. So grab your nearest beard comb and let's dive into the madness. Trophy collecting. Our first stop is the wild and woolly kilts, where masculinity wasn't just about biceps, but about how many heads you could collect. That's right, Celtic warriors were expected to take the heads of their enemies as trophies, proudly displaying them on their chariots or even in their homes. Talk about taking interior design to a whole new level. Imagine decorating your living room with the severed heads of your enemies. It's like a twisted version of Extreme Home Makeover, but with a lot more blood and fewer throw pillows. And these heads weren't just for show, they were a symbol of strength and bravery. Forget the man cave, this was the original warrior's den. But don't worry, if headhunting isn't your style, you could always just grow a really impressive beard. Which brings us to our next ancient masculine standard, the ultimate status symbol. In ancient Egypt, the longer and more elaborate your beard, the higher your status. And if you were the pharaoh, you didn't just grow a beard, you wore a fake one made of metal, just to show everyone who's boss. Imagine wearing a golden beard to assert dominance, like the ultimate flex in ancient fashion. It's the original power tie, except instead of silk, it's made of solid gold. And here's a fun fact. Egyptian men often dyed their beards or even curled them into elaborate shapes. It's like the ancient world's version of beard grooming, but with a lot more bling. So next time you're thinking of growing out your facial hair, just remember, somewhere in history, there was a pharaoh rocking a golden goatee that could probably double as a weapon. That's what I call a status symbol. Now get out of my way, peasant, before I poke you in the eye with my fake golden beard. The manly virtue. Moving on to Rome, where masculinity wasn't just about looking tough, it was about living tough. Roman men were expected to embody vitrus, a concept that combined courage, honor, and military prowess. In other words, to be a man, you had to be a soldier, a politician, and a hero, all rolled into one. Imagine trying to live up to Roman standards today. It's like being a Navy SEAL, a senator, and a reality TV star all at once. Roman men were expected to excel in warfare and public service, all while maintaining a stoic, I've got this under control attitude. And if you failed, well, let's just say the Romans weren't big on second chances. But here's the twist. While Roman men were out conquering the world, they also had to be masters of self-discipline. No wild parties, no luxury, just pure, unadulterated vitrus. Well, that leaves me out. I'm just way too much of a party animal. So remember before you commit, it's like the ancient version of no pain, no gain, but with a lot more toga parties. Military campaigns. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yes, military campaigns. On the other hand, their parties have gone wild. Just check out this video. Honor and vengeance. Now, let's sail north to the land of the Vikings, where masculinity was all about honor and keeping a grudge for decades. In Norse culture, avenging a family member's death was a key aspect of manhood, often leading to long-running blood feuds that could last for generations. Imagine your manhood depending on how well you could hold a grudge, like the ultimate revenge plot that never ends. If someone wronged your family, it was your duty to avenge them, no matter how long it took. Forget about moving on. In Viking culture, forgiveness was for the weak. And it still is. If someone takes my biscuit from my tea, oh, you better watch out. And here's the thing, these feuds weren't just about personal vendettas. They were about maintaining family honor. It's like being in a never-ending Game of Thrones, but instead of fighting for the Iron Throne, you're fighting to keep your family's reputation intact. Talk about high stakes. Athletic prowess. Let's leap over to ancient Crete, where masculinity was all about athletic prowess. Specifically, the ability to leap over charging bulls. Yes, you heard that right. Minoan men showcased their manhood by participating in bull leaping. an acrobatic and dangerous sport where they somersaulted over bulls in mid-charge. Talk about extreme sports. Imagine proving your manhood by literally flipping over a raging bull. No, not that raging bull. Ah, that's it, that's the one. It's like the ancient world's version of parkour, but with a lot more horns. And here's the catch. If you messed up, there were no second chances. One wrong move, and you were out. Permanently. But for those who could pull it off, bull leaping wasn't just a sport. It was a rite of passage. It's like earning your black belt in karate. Except instead of a belt, you get the respect of your entire civilization, and maybe a few broken bones. And don't forget, if you flip the wrong way, your days of fun at the brothel might have just come to an end. But who needs a trophy when you've got bragging rights like that, right? Bushido Code. Now let's travel to Japan, where masculinity was defined by the Bro Code. The Bushido Code. A strict code of honor that samurai warriors lived and died by. But it is almost the same. Bushido is based on Bro Code. Just saying. Anyway, the Bushido Code emphasized loyalty, martial arts skills, and most importantly, honor. And if you failed to live up to these ideals, well, let's just say the consequences were pretty dire. Imagine living every day with the pressure of being a superhero, except instead of saving the day, you're upholding your honor at all costs. And if you messed up, you didn't just get a slap on the wrist, you were expected to commit seppuku, or ritual suicide, to restore your honor. It's like having a built-in reset button, but with a lot more drama. And here's the thing. Samurai masculinity wasn't just about fighting, it was about living with integrity, discipline, and a sense of duty. It's like the ancient version of being a role model, but with a sword and a lot more pressure. So next time you're feeling the weight of responsibility, just remember you could be a samurai. Dance of Warriors. Let's take a detour to the Pacific Islands, where the Maori of New Zealand had a unique way of displaying their masculinity through the haka. This traditional war dance wasn't just about scaring the pants off your enemies. It was about showing off your strength, unity, and manliness. Imagine proving your manhood by performing an intense, synchronized dance that involves stomping, chanting, and bulging your eyes out. A bit like stepping barefoot on a Lego toy. It's like a testosterone-fueled version of So You Think You Can Dance, but with a lot more tongue-wagging. The haka was a powerful display of warrior spirit, and to this day, it remains a symbol of Maori pride and masculinity. And here's a fun fact. The haka isn't just for men. Women and children also perform the dance in various contexts. But the warrior haka, that's where the men really get to show off. So next time you see a rugby team performing the haka, remember, it's more than just a dance. It's an ancient expression of manliness that has survived the test of time. Archery and horsemanship. Now let's gallop over to ancient Persia, where masculinity was all about mastering two key skills: archery and horsemanship. The Persians believed that to be a true man, you had to be able to ride a horse into battle and hit your target with a bow and arrow, all while looking regal, of course. For us British, it would be calmly sipping our tea whilst riding our steeds. But seriously, imagine proving your manhood by hitting a bullseye while galloping at full speed. It's like an ancient version of the Hunger Games, but with a lot more elegance. The ability to shoot accurately from horseback was a crucial skill for Persian warriors, and it was seen as the ultimate test of bravery, skill, and masculinity. And here's a bonus fact. Persian warriors didn't just excel in combat, they were also expected to be poets and statesmen. It's a bit like being a knight, a scholar, and a diplomat all rolled into one. Talk about a high standard for manhood. So next time you're struggling to balance work and life, just remember, Persian warriors had to balance archery, horsemanship, and poetry all at once. Defenders of the King. Let's head to Africa once more, where the Zulu warriors of South Africa showcased their masculinity by serving as shield bearers for their king. These warriors weren't just bodyguards. They were the elite defenders of the realm, chosen for their strength, loyalty, and bravery. Imagine proving your manhood by standing in front of your king, ready to take on any threat that comes his way. It's like being a human shield, but with a lot more honor. The Zulu shield bearers were the ultimate protectors, and their role was seen as one of the highest honors a man could achieve. And here's a crazy fact. Zulu warriors were known for their ikawa. a short stabbing spear designed for close combat. The ikawa was named after the sound it made when pulled out of an enemy's body. Talk about a weapon with a reputation. So if you think carrying a briefcase to work is tough, just imagine lugging around a shield and a spear, ready to defend your king at a moment's notice. Masters of survival. Finally, let's journey to the Arctic, where the Inuit of North America proved their masculinity by mastering the harshest environment on Earth. To be considered a man in Inuit culture, you had to be a skilled hunter, able to provide for your family in a land where survival was anything but guaranteed. Imagine proving your manhood by braving sub-zero temperatures, hunting seals, and navigating treacherous waters. It's like man versus wild, but with no camera crew there to save you. The Inuit hunters were the ultimate survivalists, and their ability to thrive in such extreme conditions was a testament to their strength, ingenuity, and masculinity. And here's something wild. Inuit hunters were known for their incredible patience, sometimes waiting for hours at a seal's breathing hole in the ice. It's like the ultimate test of endurance and focus. So next time you're stuck in traffic or waiting in line, just remember, somewhere in the Arctic, an Inuit hunter is out waiting a seal, proving his manhood in the most extreme way possible. Ancient standards of masculinity were as varied and extreme as the cultures they came from, even if it meant men had to go to incredible lengths to prove their manhood. And while the stakes may have changed, the pressure to live up to certain standards is something that's still with us today. But here's the good news. You don't have to hunt a lion, flip over a bull, or wear a golden beard to be considered a real man today. So whether you're rocking a beard, a brain, or just trying to keep up with modern life, remember, masculinity has always been about more than meets the eye. If you've enjoyed this wild ride through history, hit that button and make us smile. And until next time, keep flexing those history muscles. And as always, thanks ever so much for watching.